What is going on, guys? I feel like it's been some time. I'm back. I know it's been ages since I've done one of these last episodes, but I committed to it and I'm going to keep going just like I was before. The reason I've taken a little bit of a break off doing these vlogs simply was because I've had other priorities. Update, me and Lainey have finally had a offer accepted on a house. And yeah, if for you guys who've moved before, you'll know it's a process, isn't it? So I've been prioritizing that. Obviously training's been going well. I did fail a 220 for 4 attempts on high bar squats earlier this week. Been to Sheffield as well, some of the guys from the team as well, and yeah, that was so cool seeing some of the lifters out there in the standard as well. Was insane. I actually got Agatha on my podcast yesterday, so that should be released up on the channel soon, and it was super cool to get to know her. I got Shell on next Thursday, which will be really cool to have a chat with him. You know, just complete freaks in terms of their strength, and yeah, it was really cool getting to know Agatha yesterday. You know, she's just 22, and listening to her about her mindset, you know, it was quite funny when I was chatting to her yesterday. She said the first time she walked into a gym, she started bench pressing, and she mentioned it was like 100 kilograms the first time she started bench pressing, which is just crazy, you know. So yeah, very, very special talent, you know. And what I liked about her at Sheffield was that, I'll be honest, like, I'm not a big fan of it when the lifters are really performative, and I can't help but feel it's a little bit like it's all about me, you know. But she just kept her head down, straight onto the platform, you know, nailed her lift, and then just got off. But yeah, anyway, I've got some deadlifts now, so I'm getting there, do some deads, and get back for the rest of my day. Just out with the doggos. I'm looking down at the floor because I just don't know if there's any poo around. As you can see, it's pretty cold. Got this massive jacket on. By the way, if you don't have one of these jackets, I seriously suggest getting one. Columbia, really nice and very warm, most importantly. Anyway, let me just get these dogs off. Look at Burley there. She always like lurks. 1 second, watch this. This is hilarious. Every morning when I take them down here, they have a race. But because Marty's getting older now, sometimes she doesn't make her all the way. Right, ready? Look at this. This is what I've got to deal with. Ah, Burley. Go on in. Marty's getting older, so she doesn't make it that far anymore. But usually they used to sprint right up the top of that lane there. You can just see she's not having it this morning. Anyway, I'm just gonna go for a little walk, and then I've got my cardio to do today. Every Wednesday and Saturday I do my cardio. Pretty much religiously I get it done, because yeah, I mean, it's something that I think strength athletes especially, they really neglect. You know, they think they can just like get away with doing it, and somehow that's like what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word when people almost take pride in that, you know? They wear it like a badge of honor. You know what I mean? Strength athletes, they can be like that. And you know, I usually do 10 rounds on the bag. And yeah, I'm feeling fit at the moment. And I make sure to keep that up, because it's important to have that base of health as well, you know. But yeah, so gonna do that. come back. I got a lot of stuff to sort out in terms of the house as well, because me and Lainey are moving. I'll be honest, guys, like, it's it is a really stressful period. Like, I'm not complaining by any means. I know it's, you know, it's just a part of life, I suppose. And I think one of the big things for me is always trying to be real with you guys, because on social media there's just, I don't know, it's like dealing with robots, isn't it? It's just like people, they don't see human, a lot of them. That's a big thing for me doing these vlogs. I want to be, you know, as genuine as I can be. And yeah, I'd be lying if I said it's not a stressful period at the moment. And again, I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just life, you know, so dealing with that. Obviously being an entrepreneur as well, and my own training, dealing with that, and then balancing that with a relationship. Yeah, it's, you know, it's been a lot, but these things are meant to try us, to make us stronger, aren't they? You know, so a lot's going on, but you know, it, like, change as well. Like, I think inevitably when you go through a lot of change in your life, or you go through what I like to call like a transition period, you know, where you go from an old way of living to a new one, inevitably there's going to be an element of discomfort there, and an element of anxiety, and I think that's probably what I'm experiencing right now. But whenever I felt that stress, or whenever I felt like I'm taking a risk, do you know what? It's always worked out. So I know in the end, you just got to be brave enough to take the step, haven't you? But anyway, I'm going to clock off. Look at this dog. Birdie! Say hello. Say hello to the people. Here she comes. Right, ready, set. Birdie. Birdie. She usually poses. Right, Birdie, come here. She gets nervous now. Birdie, come here. Birdie, say hello. No, we not having it today? She's not having it, is she? Let's try Marty. Marty's usually a bit better. Like, oh, here we go. Right. There we go. Say hello. And Marty, she's like just on it. She's in her own world, Marty. She just does her own thing. Anyway, I'm gonna pop off and let's get this cardio done. Just woke up, as you can tell. Getting stuck in your own knee sleeves. Completed it, mate. I thought I did it all as a powerlifter, but happens that I haven't. Look at this. You see that there? That's on one hand, and this is on the other hand. Now, well, there is desperation. Desperation. Do you know what? Is one of those things where you can either laugh or cry. So I'm choosing to laugh. I was in the gym, when was it, on Tuesday, and I planned heavy squats. First time back low bar squatting in probably 3 months or 2 months. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get myself some brand new knee sleeves to kickstart this new block. And I just went with the same size, the same brand, even the same colour as I did with my last ones, right? Because I just wanted to play safe, which is the funny thing. Anyway, whack them on, no problem getting them up. And then I knew something was off after literally 30 seconds, because I was like, yeah, this is way too tight. So I try and get them off again. Or I try and get them off, and they glued to my leg. Literally glued. That's the best way of describing it. Like, I, for the life of me, just couldn't get it off. I was in the gym for 15 minutes trying to get them off, and it was like having a tourniquet on there. And I honestly was starting to lose feeling in my feet. And I was trying so hard to get them off, that caused my knuckles to end up the way that they have. And anyway, past 15 minutes, when I start losing a little bit of feeling in my feet, I try and keep as cool as I can. But I was starting to panic a little bit, I gotta be honest. So luckily there was two guys at the end of the gym in the same room as me. Shout out to Jolt and Aaron, both clients of mine and good friends. And I went over to them and I said, guys, I'm struggling here to get them off. And we put talc down them, tried to get them off. Jolt had a go. Aaron, I think at one point they both tried getting them off at the same time. Like, two grown men couldn't get them off. After about this, they tried for about 10 minutes. And then Geraint comes in from behind reception. And credit to Geraint, he comes in, he's a man with a plan. And he comes through. And he's got these big old scissors with him, just in case we need to cut them off. And but he gave her a good go himself, trying to get them off. And honestly, they just weren't budging. So at one point, we had 3 grown men trying to get these knee sleeves off, and they just weren't coming off. After about 30 minutes, the pain probably got to about a 7 out of 10. Like, if 8 is going to the ER, this was a 7. Like, it was getting intense, and I completely lost feeling in my feet. So I was like, yeah, just cut them off. The pain got so unbearable. I was like, yeah, just get them off. And they managed just to rip them off. And I was okay. But moral of the story, guys, moral of the story. Even, okay, if you're getting knee sleeves like these, again, I thought I seen it all. I haven't, clearly. If you're getting knee sleeves, okay, my knuckles, make sure that you don't just go off what you previously had. That's the moral of the story. To me, was pretty logical, right? I thought I'll just literally get what I had before. I'm still fitting in them now, no problem. I resized my legs, and in the space of when I got them about 8 months ago, apparently I've gone up 2 sizes, right? And now I'm a 3XL. So I'm kind of happy about that. My ego kind of likes that, right? Because the gains are happening. I'm the same body weight. But yeah, that's the thing. I'm the same body weight. My legs have just obviously got bigger. So I'm now a 3XL. But the point is, measure your legs. Even if you think that, I haven't changed size or whatever it might be, I'll just get the same as before. Done. Measure. Take it from me. Another day. I should call this Walks with Sam, shouldn't I? Because I'm always filming when I'm out on my walks. It's just a good content opportunity. Right, let's do the daily race. Hang on a second. Right. No. Oi, Marty. Go on. And they're gone. Anyway, I was listening to a podcast. When was it? Probably a couple of days ago now. And, 2 really smart coaches, really know their stuff. Good guys. But it brought up a point, right, that I gotta be honest, I hear all the time on social media, and they were discussing how not everybody's built to squat. The one coach more than the other was saying about how for his clients he will tailor exercise selection specifically down to their leverages and how they're built, down to their anthropometrics. And he was basically using the argument of, if I squat, then I feel it more in my back than I do my quads, whereas somebody else who has maybe a better suited to squats might feel it more in their quads and get the most out of the exercise possible. Now, it doesn't take you to be a brain surgeon. Doesn't take you to be a brain surgeon to figure out that this coach was like a men's physique coach, right? Which is different from what I do altogether anyway. But this is such a misconception. The squat and how you should look at a squat, and any movement for that matter, should not be based on a sensation, but rather biomechanics and basic physiology, okay, human physiology. And the problem that we have today is that we have a number of these coaches that say stuff like this, and it's really misleading for people, especially like with my business. People come on board and we just teach the barbell basics, and I have this all the time. It's like, well, is everybody built to squat? Or not everybody's built to squat. I've had it before. So what if I feel it in my back more than I do my quads? And again, yes, absolutely. Based off how you are built, that can determine where the stress is distributed. Okay, so yes, you might have slightly more stress distributed to say your back, as opposed to say your quads. Okay, but that whole argument becomes irrelevant when you understand that if the knee is flexing and extending, the quads do not switch off and the quads are working. You can't just, this whole argument just kind of completely ignores this fact, okay? And the other point is that if the load is gradually increasing, then it negates the whole argument altogether, because again, the quads are always involved in a squat. Okay, so this is an example of that mental gymnastics that coaches often like to play, overcomplicating things, because I don't know why coaches do that, to be honest. I don't know why coaches overcomplicate things. It's very common. Maybe it's a personality trait, who knows, of a lot of coaches, to overthink things. But yeah, you just can't opt out quads. Do you know what I mean? Like the quads are involved, right? And they're progressively loaded, taken through a full range. They're going to be getting bigger. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about that one there, because there's this whole thing, people are relying on a sensation rather than biomechanics. Okay, like it does not matter if you don't feel your quads. What matters is, are you moving with quality technique, and are you progressively loading that movement pattern? Your feelings and the sensation that you have does not matter. What matters is quality movement, and is that again progressively loaded over time. If it is, guys, it is physiologically impossible for your quads not to get bigger. They're gonna get bigger, okay? Even if you have long femurs, yes, I said it, even if you have long femurs, okay? It's not as if you don't get quads. The quads, the hip extensors, everything is involved. And yes, the distribution of that stress might look different, but again, it's irrelevant. Because if the quads are Flexing, extending, flexing and extending, and again progressively loaded, they're going to get bigger. Okay, anyway, you can tell by my breath, it's cold. It's very, very cold. Come on then, Bertie, let's go. Here she comes. I'm going to pop off.